What an interesting game of cricket that was. I mean, I don't know for how long it's going to be interesting. You know, overs lasting 10 to 12 balls, 5, 6 wides, batters not being able to bat. I don't know how long people are going to find that interesting. But guys, what do you expect bowlers to do when there is nothing for them in the pitch? Of course, they're going to try and take the ball away from the pitch because the pitch is giving them absolutely nothing. So credit must be given where credit is due. I thought Punjab's plans, it all started around, I think it was the 14th, 15th over by Vishak, and Jansen also then joined the party. I'm very happy about him because he's had some real death over problems. So as a South African, I'm going to get to the GT bowlers now, but as a South African, I'm kind of breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. He's had some tough IPLs, but I thought the two of them in partnership, bowling is about partnership. The way that they bowled, Vishak especially, he led that plan, he led the attack, was absolutely incredible because right there for a moment, it looked as though GT was gonna, they were gonna easily get to that total. There was so much due as well, which is another issue we'll talk about someday, not now. But it looked as though it was going to be a breeze for them to get over the line. Sai Sudarshan, probably one of the most underrated cricketers in India. If I could pick one guy, he's a lefty as well. If I could pick one guy, a batter, and I don't know if this might shock you, but I would steal him and ask him to come and play for South Africa because we really need a lefty there in the top number 3, number 4 spot. But he was so good, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be for him today. An okay innings, I think, from Butler, slow to start. Gill. It's interesting today though, because for me, Gill and Shreyas Iyer, those are probably the two options for the future of India's white ball cricket in terms of captaincy. And I'm just going to tell you, every single day of the week, I would pick Shreyas Iyer. He's a very good captain, I think. Today, maybe some of the field placements, I don't know if you noticed that. Please let me know down in the comments if you noticed that. Field placings, it didn't mix too well with the bowlers, but I felt like the bowlers were maybe thrown off by the plans not really working. But I thought Shreyas's captaincy was incredible today. The one thing that I think is a bit worrying for Punjab, see, I think I'm saying that right for the first time, could be the Maxwell effect. Has Maxwell been maxed out in the IPL is a question for me, because is that 19 ducks now that he's got? In the last 10 innings, I think he had 5 ducks. So with him, it's either going to be 50 from 20 balls once in every 10 matches or something, or it's going to be a duck or under 10 runs. I mean, that's just kind of not acceptable, guys. So, and for the life of me, he's also one of the people who has spoken out recently that he really wants to be playing Test cricket. You want to be playing Test cricket, but you're batting like that in T20 cricket? Huh? No, bro. Come on, mate. So I think Ricky is probably more worried than anybody because he probably stuck out his neck for Maxwell, to get him into that team because he didn't have a good season last season with RCB. He's not been doing well for Australia as well since the 2023 World Cup. And Stoinis. It was the perfect ground to hit down the ground, and he goes for one of those reverse things. In the last year, he's really been trying to add that to his arsenal, into his game. It's not necessary, honestly, really. Stick to your strength, which is being a Hulk. So I really didn't like that from a Punjab point of view. I'm trying to think of everything here. Shashank Singh was obviously amazing. Please, if I leave anybody out, please put them down in the comments. GT's death bowling for me it's worrying, guys. Kishore was very good. See, that's another thing I was quite surprised with Punjab. They only had Chahal, not a good night for him, but I think with the dew, and he also actually bowled quite late on. That also didn't help him. So let's hope that he comes back stronger. But Kishore was amazing. He's a very smart operator, that Kishore. It's almost as if he does a hell of a lot of research about batters and he knows their weaknesses. I don't know. Keep an eye on him this tournament. I think he's going to have a good one. What did I want to say? The death bowling of GT for me. Suraj Rabada. Both very good power play bowlers, right? They're both strike bowlers. But for me, at the death, and this is my strike bowler of South Africa. I know there are a lot of Suraj fans in India. But the thing with Rabada, we actually in the last year or so, we haven't really been letting him bowl too much at the death. Because the thing for me, and both of them have this quality, like they have this similarity in both of them, is that once something goes wrong, it kind of just spirals out of control. And then it's like 1-4 becomes a 4 and 3 6s or something like that. So for me, GT, they're going to have some better death bowling plans or some better death bowling options. But you know, like I said, it was an interesting match. I mean, it's definitely not everybody's cup of tea. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, that type of bowling. Some people will even call it negative. But what else do you have to do? All in all, I thought there was a lot to learn about this match, about cricket. What did you think of it? Let me know.